So a little boy asked his dad, "What is a New Year's resolution?" And his dad said, "Well, that's something that goes in one year and out the other." An optimist stays up until midnight to see the new year in, and a pessimist stays up to midnight to make sure the old year leaves. Someone suggested that I raise my left foot before the ball drops at midnight so I could start the new year off on the right foot. God is good all the time. Thank you. Let's affirm our affirmation. I allow God to express through me. Together, I allow God to express through me. Thank you. Oh, yeah, hey, yeah. Oh, yeah, hey, yeah. So you and I are on the verge of a brand new year. And before we take that leap into 2024, it's always wise to just lighten our load, right? So I invite you to search your own heart and mind and see if there is anything about this past year that you would like to leave behind. Any fear, worry, anxiety, health issues, heartache, resentment, unforgiveness, guilt, regret, you got the idea, fill in the blank. These are the things you're invited to let go of because we know that holding on to these things only hurts who? Us, right. The old saying is, holding on to unforgiveness is like holding on to a hot coal and expecting the other person to get burned. They don't feel the pain, but we do. If we hold on to the pain, then we are the ones that are weighted down with that heavy energy of the old hurts and resentments. The good news is that we can choose again anytime we want to and let go and let God. That letting go opens us to new possibilities. Often it is so much better than we can even imagine. Are you ready to let go? Okay, got about 6 people. I got work to do here. Okay, well, you're in the right place, though, because today's Burning Bowl service is all about releasing and letting go and then opening to receive our highest and best good. So when I am open and free from lower level energy that block the flow, when I'm open and free, then I allow God to express through me. Let's affirm. I allow God to express through me. Together. I allow God to express through me. Oh, yeah. God is good. All the time. Thank you. There's something about moving from one year to the next that always makes me think of a leap of faith. The year 2023 will be complete in a few hours, and we will leap into the new year of 2024. We don't know what's behind that door marked 2024. That's why I call it a leap of faith. Someone once said that when you come to the edge of all that you know, like a cliff, right? When you come to the edge of all that you know, and you take that leap into the unknown, one of two things will happen. There will either be something solid to stand on, or you will learn how to soar. Kind of reminds me of the old Indiana Jones movie, if you know what I'm talking about. So I created an acronym for SOAR. S-O-A-R, not S-O-R-E. The sore spots we're letting go of, okay? So S-O-A-R, we're going to soar into 2024. S is for spirit. Consciously connect with the spirit of the divine within you. O is for openness. Be open to hearing the still small voice of God within. A is for acceptance. Accept that God sees the big picture. Trust that still small voice of God within and follow the guidance you receive. Accept it. It's for your good. R is for release and receive. It doesn't seem logical to have to let go of something in order to receive, but it is simple. If we recognize what we hold no longer serves us, and when we let it go, we open the floodgates to receiving even greater good. So soar into 2024 by connecting with Spirit, being open to the still small voice of God, accept the guidance you receive, and release what does not serve you, and receive the greater good than you can even imagine. Soar, beloveds, into 2024. Oh, Yehoah, praise the Spirit. God is good. All the time. Thank you. So many years back, on a remote island in the South Pacific, researchers were trying to catch wild monkeys. The monkeys were too smart and too fast for them. One researcher decided he was going to work smarter, not harder. So he took a coconut and he drilled a small hole in the top of the coconut. And then he stuffed a banana inside. And then he left the coconuts around for the monkeys to find. And they could smell the bananas. And when they reached into the coconut to grab the banana, they couldn't get their hand out. And they were trapped. And it was, they tried everything. They tried every which way to get their hand out with the banana, but nothing worked, and they ended up being easily captured. It reminds me of those Chinese finger puzzles. Are you familiar with those? Yeah. The trick is to use non-resistance to get released from the Chinese finger puzzle. If you resist, you're going to stay stuck. You have to use that non-resistance. So just like the monkeys, if they had let go of the banana, they would have escaped capture and kept their freedom. Aren't we like that sometimes? Not willing to let go of something that is not doing us any good any longer? Up until now. We are learning and we're growing and we're evolving, and as we do, we realize it just isn't worth carrying the heavy weight of old hurts and pains and unforgiveness that keeps us trapped in the lower level energy realm. What we desire is freedom, expansiveness, upper level energy realm vibrations, also known as good vibes, right? As we release, let go, and let God, we easily take a leap of faith and learn how to soar. S is for spirit, O is for openness, A is for acceptance, R is for release and receive. No coconuts about it. I want to talk a little bit about fire. We know that fire can be harmful, but it is also a cleansing and purifying agent. And that's what we're making use of today. Did you know that the finest steel goes through the hottest fire to remove any impurities, thereby making it the strongest, purest, finest steel? We use fire safely as one of the ways we move through letting go of what no longer serves us. And this is what we'll be doing today. The use of fire is a purification process, a tangible way of releasing the negative forms of mental and emotional energy that gets kind of trapped in the body, right? The burning is symbolic of releasing and letting go and purifying our consciousness so that we can be lifted up to an even higher realm of consciousness that is illumined by the divine presence of God. Oh, yeah. Praise the Spirit. You might remember the biblical story in the book of Daniel about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. There is something about those three names I really like. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. They were walking through the fiery furnace and not being consumed by it. I was like, what? Metaphysically, they were not harmed by what was happening in the outer. The story represents their purity in consciousness. It doesn't mean they ignored the chaos or pretended that it wasn't there, but they did not let the outer world change who they were. It didn't change their inner world, of which they were deeply connected in their faith in God. They were in the world, but not consumed by it. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were in the fire and not harmed by it. In other words, they stayed in the upper energy realm. When we stay in the upper energy realm of consciousness, we will not be consumed by the lower level energies of the world. So what does this mean for us? Well, it means when we have released and let go of error thoughts and heavy emotional baggage, that draining energy that is kept up in bondage in the lower energy realm, when we release it and let it go, we automatically begin to rise in consciousness. Think about a hot air balloon. When the weight is released, it rises. Yes, rise. And abiding in this higher consciousness, there's nothing that can disturb the calm peace of your soul when you are abiding in this upper energy realm of consciousness. So this doesn't mean that chaos and storms won't ensue, because they will. It means we will not be consumed by the outer chaos, okay? Like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. We will remain in the calm peace of our soul in the higher energy realm, where we will walk through the fire of whatever challenge shows up in our life and not be burned. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah, God is good. All the time. All right, let's affirm our affirmation again. I allow God to express through me. Together. I allow God to express through me. Yes. Our participation in the burning bowl ceremony today is a way for us to cleanse our consciousness of any imprints of error thoughts and emotions that we might be consciously or unconsciously holding on to. It is also a way to release thoughts and memories that are buried deep in the subconscious mind. We use this element of fire symbolically and physically to designate our willingness to release and let go. Fire demonstrates an energy exchange. Just as fire changes paper from one form of energy to another, we too can release old stuff that doesn't serve us anymore through this energy exchange. Releasing our mind to work in more constructive ways and life-enhancing ways. Let go of that banana, you little monkey. I'm talking to my monkey mind. Are you ready for something new? Yes. All right, good. Remember, the O in SOAR is for openness. Be open to something new. So I'm going to explain the burning bowl process several times so everyone's going to know what to expect. We're going to begin by singing a meditative song kind of chant that leads us into meditation. As I center in love, I align with God. If you don't know the words, just listen and let the lyrics stir in you. After the song, we're going to move into meditation, where we allow whatever needs to come up for healing to come up for release. When we conclude the meditation, you'll be given some time to write down all that you wish to let go of And for this exercise, we're going to be using, and not now, but I'll just show you now. Did everyone receive a packet like this when they came in? Does anyone not have a packet? Because you'll need this for the process. If you don't have a packet, raise your hand and the ushers will bring one to you. You'll also need a writing utensil. So if anybody didn't get one, raise your hand. All right, raise your hand high so they can see you. So, all right. Once we finish the meditation, I'll give you instructions, and we're going to use this little quarter sheet of special releasing paper that's in your packet, okay? If you brought paper from home, you can burn that later, but for safety reasons, this is the only paper we'll be accepting for the burning bowl ceremony, okay? People often say, well, this isn't big enough. I know you were thinking that, weren't you? Well, there's a reason it's small. Because you're not supposed to write out the whole story of what happened to you. We will be writing on this little slip of paper just words, the words that represent our feelings and beliefs, those things that don't serve us, like anger, guilt, shame, resentment, hurt, unforgiveness, regret. You got the idea, right? These are what we are releasing because they don't serve our highest good. Understand? Yeah. We'll be using the larger paper for visioning what we want, and I'll give you instructions when we get to that part of the process. So as long as everybody has a packet and they have a pen, you'll be ready when we complete the meditation to use that, okay? So once again, you don't get descriptive. Let a few words describe what you want to release. We are not reliving the story of hurt and pain. And nobody really wants to do that anyway, right? No, yeah. All right. Know that nobody's going to read what you have written, so it is safe to be released. And once we finish that meditation, that's when we write on the thin sketch paper what we want to release. And once you're done writing, you'll fold it in half and wait for the ushers to pass the basket to collect them. Again, for fire safety, we're only going to accept the little special quarter sheets of paper. So quick recap. We begin with a chant song. We move into meditation. After meditation, we write down on that thin little quarter sheet what comes up for us that's desiring release. And when you are complete with your writing, you're going to fold it in half and wait for the ushers to pass the basket to collect. It seems like a lot, but it really isn't, so don't stress. I'll lead you through it. So let's begin by preparing for meditation. So just get comfortable right where you are. Relax. Feel your feet on the floor. Adjust yourself in the chair if you need to get comfortable. And just be here now.
As I center in love, I align with God. As I center in love, I align with God. As I center in love, I align with God, with God, with God. As I center in love, I align with God. As I center in love, I align with God. As I center
As I center in love, I align with God. I invite you to let go of anything you're holding in heart and mind and be here now. Gently breathe in, God is. Slowly breathe out, I am. God is. I am. I invite you to allow my words to be the words of your own heart and mind as we share this brief time of prayer and meditation together. Dear God, I am here. I am ready. I am willing to release anything that doesn't serve me. Old error beliefs, old hurts and resentments. I'm ready to let them go. I'm ready to let go of anything that hinders the divine flow of your good God through me. As I prepare to take this leap into the new year of 2024, I release and I let go. And I allow God's love to flow. Centered in divine awareness, little thought bubbles pop up, reminding me of things it's time to release and let go. I desire to walk and move and have my being immersed in your divine presence, God, centered in the truth of who I am as a beloved of the divine. I remember that nothing in the outer can disturb the calm peace of my mind when I am aligned with you, God. Silently affirm, I release and I let go of anything that is holding me back from being who I truly am, an expression of God. I allow God to express through me. I am prosperous and free. I invite you to follow your breathing as you move even deeper still within. And connect with that divine presence of God within you. And then just listen in the stillness for the still small voice of God as God speaks just to you in the silence. in the silence. It's time to let go of old, worn out baggage, old hurts and resentments. It's time to release it all and feel the uplift of the divine presence of God. I desire to walk, move, and have my being immersed in God through all things. I release and I let go. Oh, Yahweh. And so it is. Amen and amen.
As I center in love, I align with God. As I center in love, I align with God. As I center in love, I align with God, with God, with God, with God,
When you're ready, you can bring yourself back to this time and place and open your eyes. We're going to take a few minutes now to write down on this little quarter sheet of paper the words of what it is we're willing to release and let go of. I think we have maybe just, I know they passed out some of the clipboards. We have a couple left. If somebody needs a clipboard to write on, raise your hand and they'll bring one to you. I know there's a couple left. Otherwise, we can kind of maneuver. Thank you. So not the whole story because it's not going to fit. Just the words or thoughts or feelings or beliefs that don't serve your highest good. And when you're complete, you're going to fold your paper in half and wait for the baskets to get passed. So we're going to take just a little bit more time to finish up writing what you want to release. I see a couple people writing. I added and anything I forgot at the end. So I'm going to invite the ushers to take the little black baskets and pass them to collect the papers. Remember the sound booth? Get the sound booth as well. Okay, anybody holding out? This is your last chance. Okay. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3. I release and I let go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I release and I let go. That was a lot of stuff, man. Did you see that flame? Woo, all gone. Woo, just feel that. Doesn't that feel good? Woo. I should have brought marshmallows. Like, woo, got a little heated here. S'mores, I like your way you think. Let's feel how good that is. To clear that space within us, right? Woo. So as we've cleared that space within, it's time to fill the void with what we truly desire. We're going to do this by moving to our letter writing, okay? So you should have this paper, large paper, and the envelope, right? I want you to start by you're going to address this envelope to yourself, okay? We already have the church return address, but you're going to address the envelope to yourself. So do that now. I'm going to put my name on here and my address so it knows how to find me. So you're putting your address on here because we're going to hold these letters for you until June. And then we're going to mail them back to you. No one will be reading it. When you're complete with your letter writing, you'll fold it and seal it in the envelope. We'll hold on to it, and we send it back to you in June, okay? And one of the really cool things about this is when you get that letter back in June, and I look at I did that, and I did that, and I didn't do that one. And it's like, you know what, let me pray about that. Is that something I still want to do, or maybe I need to re-examine and make a new goal, you know? So it's powerful to get the letter back in June. So it's a powerful, powerful process. So, okay, everybody has their envelope self-addressed, yes? Okay. So now on the large white sheet of paper, you're going to write a letter to yourself, outlining the vision that you have for yourself for this new year of 2024. I like to date my letter, 12/31/2023, and mine's going to say, Dear Yvonne. Yours will have your name on it, okay? Here's what you want to be is descriptive of what you would really like to unfold for you in 2024, okay? So remember, nothing is impossible for you. This is your dream, your vision, and intentions for the highest and best good for this coming year. Don't write, well, I hope that I get that job or that promotion, or don't let it be wishy-washy. Believe anything is possible and write your dream, your vision, what you really want, and claim it, okay? Be as descriptive as you want, and I always like to write at the end of my letter, this or something better. Thank you, God. This or something better. Thank you, God, because God always outdoes me. Always. So thank you, God. All right, so I'm going to give you a few minutes to write. And when you're complete, you sign the letter, you fold it, put it in your envelope, seal it, and then we will have a basket at the door at the end of service to collect them in. And we will keep them safe until June, and then we'll mail them back to you. So it's a gift. It's a gift to get in June when you see your own handwriting on an envelope in the mail. And it's like, ooh, yay. All right. Those who've done this before know what a treat it is. So we're going to take a few minutes now and settle into what is my highest vision for myself for this new year of 2024. Remember, it's your dreams and aspirations. What would you really love? Is it a better relationship, a new home, a fabulous career, spiritual growth and development, prosperity, abundance, whatever your soul desires? No limit here. So dream big. So we're going to finish up in a moment. If you're not done, know that you can stay in the sanctuary as long as you like to complete your letter. You don't have to rush it. So this is a time in the service where we put ourselves into the law of circulation. The law of circulation is as we give, so shall we receive. Pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing into our lap. The giving and the receiving become one. This morning you're invited to support your spiritual community through the law of giving and receiving. So I invite you to take a moment and allow the love, joy, and peace of God to move in and through you, blessing you in the financial gift that you're willing to give. Whether you give electronically, by check, cash, credit card, I invite you to take the offering to heart and affirm with me our offertory blessing. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am richly blessed. Thank you, God. Happy New Year, almost everyone. I'm so glad that you joined us for this special burning bowl ceremony. God is good all the time. Remember, next Sunday, join us for the White Stone ceremony right here, 10:30 a.m. And sign up in the lobby for Undeck the Halls on Saturday, January 13th.